Welcome to the another lecture on Introduction to IoT and Robotics using Arduino. In this video, we will see how to use Arduino for the analog operations. We will discover the usage of analog pins in the Arduino board and the serial monitor. In this lecture, we will see how to measure the resistance of an unknown resistor. For that, we need to connect the two resistors, one being the known resistor and the other one being the unknown resistor, whose resistance we need to calculate in the series fashion as shown on the screen. We need to provide the VCC, that is input voltage, to the known resistance and ground the second end of the unknown resistance. And from the junction point of both this R1 and R2, we need to connect one pin to the analog pin on the Arduino. So I am using the first analog pin. So I have written that A0 here. So connect the junction to the first analog pin on the Arduino board. So this circuit calculates the output using the voltage divider circuit rule. So the output V out will be R1 divided by R1 plus R2 into V in. So we need to calculate the R2, that is unknown resistance of the second resistor. So R2 will be R1 into V in by V out minus 1. So this will be the, these are the equations we will be using for the calculation purpose. So V in will be the 5 volts given from the Arduino board. R1 I am using a 1K resistance, and V out will be the analog voltage we will be reading from the Arduino board. So the thing we need to understand here is the Arduino pin, that is the analog pin, will map the input voltages reading using the quantization method. It will map the voltage from 0 to 1024 values. So we need to convert these numbers to the original values. So we will see in the program how to convert this to the original voltage values. So then the converted voltage V out we will be using in our equation. The component required for this are the resistors, connecting wires, Arduino and the breadboard. So this is the known resistance I am connecting, and this is the unknown resistance I am connecting as shown on the screen. Next, for the known resistance I am going to connect the 5 volts input, and for the unknown resistance I am going to ground it. And from the junction of these two resistance I am going to connect it to the first analog pin, that is A0 on the Arduino. So that's all is the connection. Now we will see how to make the coding in Arduino. Open the Arduino software and let's start the programming. So first we need to include the library called Arduino.h. So hash include Arduino.h. After this we need to declare a variable called voutq, that is it will take the quantization value, quantize the value of the from the analog input. So we need to declare it and we need to initialize it with the 0. Next we have to take a float variable called Vin, so which will be 5 volts we are giving, and the other one will be the V out. Next, one more float for the resistor values. So R1 being the first resistor whose resistance is known, So I'm using 1000 ohms resistance, so I'm giving it as 1000, and R2 will is the unknown resistance which we are going to find the resistance of. Next, in the void setup, we need to start the serial monitor. So serial dot begin 9600, that is the baud rate we need to set up. So that's all in the void setup. Next, in the void loop, what we need to do is, first we need to take the readings from the analog pin 0. So we are going to take and store it in the value called Vout Q, that is quantized value. So analog read. So analog read is an inbuilt function in the Arduino to take the readings, that is the analog readings from the analog pins. So it will take the readings and map it to the a number from 0 to 1024 values. So 0 being the least voltage, that is 0 voltage, and 1024 being the maximum voltage, that is 5 volts. So it will map the voltages to our numbers. So this number we need to convert it back. So the conversion is done and that will be stored in the actual V out. So V out will be V in into V out Q, that is the quantized value divided by 1024. So we have got our actual output. So next is the resistance we have to calculate. So we have seen the formula previously. So the R2 will be equals to R1 into V in divided by V out minus 1. So close the parenthesis. So we need to give a delay of 3 seconds because it has a high clock speed, so it will take the readings continuously. So we don't want to display the things on the serial monitor continuously, so we are giving the delay of 3 seconds, and then we will print the value of this unknown resistance. So print serial dot println R2. So that is the code. So we will have to save it. So I'm going to save it as the analog operation and just save it, and you have got some error. Okay, so we don't want to give the semicolon there, we need to give the just comma. So the program is compiled. Once the compilation is done, upload the code to the Arduino board and then open the serial monitor, and it starts printing the values that is being calculated from that A0 pin. So we can see that it is printing 1000, and it's true because I have used the another resistance, that is R2, also a 1K resistor. Thank you.